AT Sippers. Okay, let's hear what she has come up with today. She was so on point yesterday. I'm intrigued to hear what she got cooking today. Are you as excited as I am? Let's see how on point we get today. Please come in, hitting the like button.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that you can begin your timers because it is not going to be long until the media tries to convince you that Megyn Kelly, yes, that Megyn Kelly, is Adolf Hitler. I'm not kidding.
What?
It's definitely coming. There is going to be some headline in the near future that reads, Megyn Kelly is flirting with anti-Semitism. You can book it. Why? Because out of nowhere, and for absolutely no apparent reason at all, the agents, like I think of them as like Mr. Smith in The Matrix, have around, I
Hey,
guess they're
Janet.
surrounding Megyn Kelly and demanding that she makes a statement against me and Tucker Carlson, of course. Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson.
Hey,
This is so
Argentry.
bonkers. I got to show you what they are saying to her. Before we get into that, some incredible breaking news. We have now confirmed that there was indeed a woman who was with the shooter in the footage that was captured by the houses nearby the area. And for whatever reason,
A woman? Did she say that it was confirmed that a woman was with the shooter? Or is she talking about was Tyler Robinson? Or the discovery? Oh my goodness. Let me go get something to eat. This is going to be a woozy, a doozy. I'm still waiting on my plate. Oh yeah, let me y'all come on in, hitting the like button. Hey Willie Spencer. Oh my goodness. Let me go. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all come in, hitting the like button. Let me get something. I'ma wait. It's like 30 something people in here already, and there was only 5 likes. I'm not going to do it. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it. This is, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm back. Y'all didn't get the likes up.
And demanding that she makes a statement anti-Semitism, you can book it. Why? Because out of nowhere, and for absolutely no apparent reason at all, the agents, like I think of them as like Mr. Smith in The Matrix, have around, I guess they're surrounding Megyn Kelly and demanding that she makes a statement against me and Tucker Carlson, of course, Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. It is so bonkers. I got to show you what they are saying to her. Before we get into that, some incredible breaking news. We have now confirmed that there was indeed a woman who was with the shooter in the footage that was captured by the houses nearby
Is this
the
a
area.
hoax, y'all?
And for whatever reason, the FBI has not yet released or even acknowledged that that footage exists. This is absolutely huge, actually. I think
Nor
this
have
is
they
the biggest thing
acknowledged
that we
the
have
guy in all
uncovered
black.
since the beginning of
A
this
woman in
investigation.
all
So
black.
let's jump right back into this. Welcome back to Candace. Right at the top here, because sometimes we get a ton of emails about one subject that we've already researched, and that is the case regarding, first and foremost, you're seeing a lot of this chatter going around about the renting of the State Farm Stadium for Charlie Kirk's memorial service. I think there were 90,000 people that attended and then spilled over. And many people online have speculated, accurately by the way, so some credit to you guys, that in order to book a venue of that size, you would have had to done so in advance.
Yeah.
Right? Venue contracts do not just materialize out of nowhere for a space that holds that many people plus spillover. Now, given my many sources at Turning Point USA, I was able to quickly get an answer on that one for the public. The venue was indeed secured in quick order, but that was because they had help from the White House, and Turning Point did not book that venue back in May, so we can formally debunk that. I was told that the White House stepped in and put in a personal phone call to the event coordinator, and
that is really good to know.
Actually did already have an event that was scheduled.
Hold on, y'all.
The White House simply asked those people if they would be willing to
I need to pause for a second. Get the lights up. Let's go.
It was apparently supposed to be an RV show, actually. And obviously, given the nature of the tragedy, it was globally traumatizing to everybody. I think everybody was moved by Charlie Kirk's assassination. The people that held that space were willing to oblige it. So that tracks with me. That seems accurate. I just wanted to help you guys with that information. Also, another thing that I came across, and this is regarding Phil Lyman's campaign website. You guys were asking me if we came across that. Yes, I did come across that. And I actually, in the short run, didn't think much of it because I thought, okay, well, he was running a campaign and he has a website, and maybe people were writing in reviews and saying he was a great person. But yes, we were aware that George Zinn is one of just 20 people that is a featured endorsement. He endorses Phil Lyman's character. You can see that here. George Zinn writes, "Rare to find a more caring man with
the guy who they said was
for generations than Phil Lyman. Not a politician who can be pampered. Phil has a knowledge of rural Utah from every corner and community.
Arrested for
Utah
child
is in
porn.
desperate need of true leadership and representation, and Phil has the passion and the values to be a great governor. He needs our support." Now, not sure what to make of that. I did want to use Wayback Machine to see whether or not that was a new entry. Maybe somebody is trolling there. And no, they are not. That entry has been there at least since, I'm going to show you this on Wayback, at least since June 6th, 2024. So I don't know what to make of that. Now, I will say other locals told us that George Zinn, for whatever reason, is very involved in Republican politics. Take from that what you will, meaning that he shows up to a lot of events, but of course Phil Lyman's people would have been controlling that website, certainly should have been aware of his erratic character, and maybe wouldn't want to have featured him on that website. I don't know. It's definitely something to consider. Some other things that are of interest. Okay, yesterday we mentioned that apparently it was kind of everybody's first day on the job, right? 9/10 was everybody's first day on the job, meaning that there were a lot of these recent and brand new hires in Utah that would all kind of come across and have to deal with this case. Kash Patel, I told you, cleaned house at the state borough. He then installs a person that has a long tenure in D.C., Robert Bowles. His first case is Charlie Kirk's assassination. Why would he want to uproot and move his family to Utah after having roots in Virginia for so long? I don't know, but that's the circumstance. Also, I told you there was a new CEO and therefore a new lead surgeon, Andrew Zenger, over at the hospital, the regional hospital that Charlie was taken to, although that was not the nearest hospital from the university, and it also ranked extremely low in terms of the most best equipped hospital, if you will, to deal with the sort of trauma that Charlie was suffering from, a neck wound, obviously. So it's very strange. I think it would be interesting to learn whether or not that new CEO and surgeon worked on Charlie. That's something that I would like to find out. If you know that information, please send it to us at tips@CandaceOwens.com. Okay. That's not it, though. There were also some other new people, and I forgot to mention the judge that is in the case, that is overseeing the case against Tyler Robinson.
Wow.
Is Judge Tony F. Graff Jr. He was recently appointed to the 4th District Court in May of 2025 by Governor Spencer Cox. I was also informed that the coroner in this case was also brand spanking new. That name has not yet been released. I am told that person is new. Okay. And I have also
a lot of newness.
I've been told that Charlie did indeed have an autopsy. I wanted to let you guys know that because I saw a lot of rumors that were circulating that he did not have an autopsy. That has been confirmed. An autopsy did take place. By the way, you should know that in the state of Utah, in case you, like me, are maybe holding your breath that we're going to see that report, those reports are actually kept private, so there isn't going to be some big release outside of what maybe the immediate family members wishing for that and saying, I feel like something's wrong and I would now like to release the autopsy report. That's the only way that we are going to be able to see it. That's at least what I've learned. Now let's jump back into what actually took place on that day, because I'm starting to get a bit of a stronger punch about things. We'll jump back in here regarding Shaner Broderick, who is, according to Phil Lyman, a cousin who he refers to Phil as his uncle across interviews. Doesn't matter. They're family members is the main point, and they know each other. And Shaner Broderick has, of course, mysteriously deleted all of his socials except for Instagram, but he's wiped his Instagram. Okay? Just deleted his Facebook and just outright deleted his LinkedIn page because I asked him a question before we even went live. That was his response, okay? Now, he did this not before I grabbed everything that I needed from his pages. I just had a suspicion that he might not be willing to participate, and I was operating under the assumption that he might just privatize his socials. So I instructed my team to grab everything before I even made contact. Now, what I did not anticipate was that he would delete the content. Okay? Why would he delete the content? That part never wasn't tracking for me. It didn't make sense to me. Now, it sort of maybe does make a lot of sense to me. So you will recall that we had received a lead live on the show. Someone paid money to inform us that there was footage that the FBI was hiding, right? She wrote in, said, I have been trying to reach out to you everywhere. The FBI is hiding footage. The doorbell cam footage had more. This is what the person told us. She said, the shooter is then seen changing his clothes, and he is with a woman, she told me. Then she gives me a name, and that name was another Lyman family member, and that's when my spidey senses started tingling. I'm like, okay, this is a lot of Lymans. Now, I want to be very clear and fair to Phil Lyman. He has been forthcoming about the fact that his family owned that property. Like, they own everything there. That is not mysterious. He's not hiding that fact. UVU, in many ways, purchased the university from his family, right? That the acreage from his family for that university. But I did feel that if that is the case, obviously, then Phil Lyman would, in theory, be able to access that footage, right? Be able to speak to his family members.
Right. I mean,
And
because he provided
yeah,
that first
I
footage,
didn't
right?
want to come out and say that it was a fact that there was a woman, would make a lot of sense to me. So you will recall that
Hold
we had
on.
received a lead live on the show. Someone paid money to inform us that there was footage that the FBI was hiding, right? She wrote in, said, I have been trying to reach out to you everywhere. The FBI is
It's
hiding
always
footage.
something.
The doorbell cam footage had more. This is what the person told us. She said, the shooter is then seen changing his clothes, and he is with a woman, she told me. Then she gives me a name, and that name was another Lyman family member, and that's when my spidey senses started tingling. I'm like, okay, this is a lot of Lymans. Now, I want to be very clear and fair to Phil Lyman. He has been forthcoming about the fact that his family owned that property. Like, they own everything there. That is not mysterious. He's not hiding that fact. UVU, in many ways, purchased the university from his family, right? That the acreage from his family for that university.
Oh, wow.
But
So
I did
that
feel
means
that if that is the case, obviously,
that means that they would know if the university purchased the property from his family, then that also means that he would know the layout of this university, right? Uh, be kind of familiar with it. So, I mean, because wondering how would just a random student, a random Tyler Robinson, who didn't go to the school, how would he know the route in which to go up to the roof, right? I mean, you walk up the steps, but you jump down the side. Yeah, and still no mention from the Lyman family about the guy in the all black and the 911 call describing the guy in the all black. Not describing Tyler, but describing somebody tactical, all black, tactical hat. I mean, and we saw it. But okay, let's keep listening. But I still need for you guys to double tap the face of your phone. Or hit the 3 buttons at the top. Get the likes up. It's 261 people in here. Get the likes up. Support the platform. Let's go. Or I will shut it down.
then Phil Lyman would, in theory, be able to access that footage, right? Be able to speak to his family members. And yeah, I didn't want to come out and say that it was a fact that there was a woman with the shooter without any proof. We had no proof outside of this person, and what she was saying felt real to me, definitively, but I needed something more solid. Well, we came across something more solid.
And that would make
We
sense as
reviewed
to
the
why.
footage that Shayna Broderick.
That would make sense as to why that guy was, make mention of the ladies, the 2 ladies, and then make one of them, make them goth without looking at them in their face. How would you assume that they were goth? And then when the research shows that the guy was dressed up in goth. But let's listen.
Of course, we downloaded everything but hadn't actually reviewed it, had wiped from the internet. And yeah, the proof is in the pudding, and I'm going to let you hear it. Now, to set this up, you will recall that Shaner and his close friends, that nobody knows, apparently, they were retracing the footsteps of the killer. They were at his grandma's house, he said.
Which was
and
odd.
He's speaking on camera with his aunt to set this footage up for you. And sure enough, you're going to hear right in the beginning, his aunt is going to mention that there was a woman who was helping the shooter, and she's not sure whether or not that person was an accomplice. I would say if you're helping the shooter, you were an accomplice, but somehow we all missed this in this actual clip that Shaner had posted and has since been wiped from the internet. Take a listen.
If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
So you see, she's talking about the shooter, and she says, I was wondering if the girl had given him stuff, and then somebody off camera says, you know, you're filming, and she says, Shaner had posted and has since been wiped from the internet.
Let's listen to
Take a
that
listen.
again.
If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
So you see, she's talking about the shooter, and she says, I was wondering if the girl had given him stuff, and then somebody off camera says, you know, you're filming, and she says, I'm sorry that you're filming, but it's very clear. There's no question at all. In fact, leading into that, which we should have maybe cut that a little bit earlier, they're speaking about how she thought the FBI had it wrong. The timing didn't make sense to her. And that's what she's starting with. I don't, you know, the timing doesn't make sense to me because I thought that it took a little longer for him to walk. Let's play that again, Skylar, just so they can hear it again. She says, there's a girl. Take a listen.
If you time how long it took him to get from that little part over to here, was way longer than it should have been. So I wondered if the girl had given him stuff, like if there is an accomplice. Sorry, you're filming.
And it said right here, that picture from Sam's across the street, he was right here.
Yep.
So just to be clear, those subtitles are wrong. It's just that's AI. She's saying, I wondered if there is an accomplice. Okay? I wondered if there is an accomplice, which we should edit that, Chris, when we re-release that. And then somebody says something, and she's like, sorry, I didn't realize you were filming. Okay. So we have the woman who was my source who said that the FBI cut the footage and she was certain of it. And now we have actually the woman who handed over her footage to the FBI saying, I wondered if that woman was an accomplice. Ladies and gentlemen, what the heck is going on? Who was the woman that was with the alleged shooter? Why wouldn't the FBI immediately release that? Now, again, you should recall
But charging that
the very next morning, on September the 11th.
But they just want to quickly charge Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, with capital murder plus, knowing good and dang well that that is not the same person and that it was more people involved. Yeah. Now, I did hear them say that there may have been some others involved, but they are moving like they have their person.
Okay. So we have the woman who was my source who said that the FBI cut the footage and she was certain of it. And now we have actually the woman who handed over her footage to the FBI saying, I wondered if that woman was an accomplice. Ladies and gentlemen, what the heck is going on? Who was the woman that was with the alleged shooter? Why wouldn't the FBI immediately release that? Now, again, you should recall that the very next morning, on September the 11th, TMZ already had the doorbell cam footage, okay? So that means that the FBI already had the footage, right? They would have seen that there was a woman with the shooter, and yet they chose during this manhunt, during this 33-hour manhunt, not to inform the public that they were also looking for a woman who this lady believes, she wondered
If she was
whether or not she would have been an accomplice. If that was his accomplice.
Wow.
What happened to this lady? Who is the girl, the woman that was in this footage, guys? I don't know. What are your ideas here? Why would the FBI not tell us something so evidently crucial to this story? That we have a woman that's involved. What does she look like? How old is she? I obviously did the sensible thing, right? I reached out to Phil Lyman because it's his family, And I asked him whether or not he would be willing to track down this footage for me. And he's not happy with me. He's angry. I mean, he said really not nice things to me. He started asking me if I
Whose
had
side are
something to
you
do
on? Mr. Whose side are
with the
you
shooting.
on?
Okay. And I basically just stayed focused and said, Phil,
Mr. Whose side are you on is mad at her for breaking it down, y'all. I mean, what else can we call it? I mean, exposing the fact. I mean, his family is, I mean, come on. Somebody in your family had to give. You was taking ownership of the video of him walking down the street with a rifle in his pants. I mean, so we were supposed to just take what you said and just, yeah, and just believe it. But now somebody's doing some deep diving research and you're mad. Whose side are you on? Okay. We want the
I
tape.
asked him whether or not he would be willing to track down this footage for me. And he's not happy with me. He's angry. I mean, he said really not nice things to me. He started asking me if I had something to do with the shooting.
No, your family do.
And I basically just stayed focused and said, Phil, okay, we showed your footage. He's very upset about cousin versus nephew thing. I said, it's all irrelevant. If you're saying you actually want to help us.
Sound too low? Here's how to fix it. Open Extra Sound. Instant volume boost up to 600%. Boom. Watch how
Cousin,
the volume
nephew,
jumps.
will you tell
It's
your
quick add to
nephew to
Chrome
get
and
it
super
right?
easy to
He's
use.
the
Just
one that
one
don't
click,
know who he is
and your
to
sound
you.
gets loud. Extra Sound,
I
fix
mean,
low.
really?
Catch the killer.
Your
Right? If that's
nephew
really
don't
where your
know.
heart was, if that's really why you injected yourself so much into this story, why wouldn't you, knowing how deeply I care about this, walk over while you're in the neighborhood popping by, walk over to your aunt, grandma, cousins, I don't care whose house, and say, hey, you said there was an accomplice, that there was a woman, okay, that might have been an accomplice. Do you mind letting me see the raw footage so that I can hand it over to Candace? In fact, how about just giving me any of the footage that your family rushed to give it to TMZ? Why did they rush to give it to TMZ? By the way, you definitely said you were at your cousin's house and that you hadn't seen the footage. You were watching it live with Kayleigh McEnany on Fox News. That's what you said during that segment, right? This is the first time I'm seeing this footage. So apparently your cousin, close enough to go to their house, but your cousin decides to give the footage to TMZ before you can even see it. Okay, maybe the feds gave it. That's another assumption. That's the only two options. Either your cousin gave it to TMZ or the feds gave a portion of it to TMZ, which begs the question, why were we not told about the woman? Who was the woman? We should now all be putting a lot of pressure on the FBI to make a statement about why the woman who handed over her footage, I've now twice confirmed in her own mouth and from a source that there was a lady in that footage with the shooter. So why are they worried about that being caught on camera? Oh, sorry, didn't realize you were filming. What's that about? It's like everybody knows something that I don't know. And I want to be in the know on what happened to Charlie Kirk on 9/10. So if you have any tips pertaining to who the woman was that was caught, please let me know. I am going to try again to reach out to this family since I don't think that Phil Lyman wants to assist me. He doesn't like me. That's fine. I wonder if he likes truth, if he likes trying to solve this thing. That would be great as well. If he doesn't want to talk to me, I'm happy to put him in touch with another journalist. But if you know something more and you'd like to reach out to us, please do. Reach out to us on social media. And I please ask again that you guys reserve not sending us videos and TikToks and links, but rather if you have information, please use tips@CandaceOwens.com. I love you all, and I love that the whole world wants to know what happened, and I'm grateful for that. But there's only so much data that an inbox can take. And we might have to just make a second line, so I think we should do. Skylar, we should talk about that. Okay, now we turn our attention back to the mysterious individual that is next to Shaner, right? We discovered that one person was from Austria, and then we're going, who's this goth kid that Phil has been clear he does not know him. Phil Lyman does not know this individual. Could I help identify him? I told you it was unusual that our inbox wasn't instantly flooded with people telling us exactly who it was. Well, then we did get another hit on him, and a handful of you similarly found the same person that we did, a person going by the name Robbie Hild, who is allegedly from Washington. Now, let me tell you why I don't think this is his true identity, okay? Because if this was just some kid who grew up in Washington, went to school in Utah, my inbox would be flooded with that name, and it's not, okay? It's simply not. Oddly, no one has come forward to claim that they know Robbie Hild. They're all just saying, I got a hit, this might be him. No one is saying they went to school with him. This is a young college student. He's allegedly, like I said, from Washington State. And no one personally can say, I know this person. How could that be? How could that be? I'm going to tell you something. So I'm starting to get a hunch about things, and we're going to go more deeply into this tomorrow. But many of you guys have been sending those clues about the Azov battalion, about Ukrainian, Russian people that were coming into Utah. There seems to be some organized movement, people that are being given new identities. Actually, one person wrote us and told us that UVU in and of itself as a campus has an unbelievable amount of dedication. I mean, even the president, I'm blanking on her name, it like majored in Soviet studies. Like they have a direct pipeline from Russia to America. It's very interesting. And yes, it is true. It is a fact that Tyler Robinson, we can't confirm that this is Mike Mitchell, but there are old photos of Tyler Robinson when he's a lot younger, visiting his uncle Mikey, okay? His uncle Mikey, who is working with the Ukrainian Azov battalion. He's a military man. And that gets really interesting when I start to combine all of the aspects of this case. And again, we are still in theory territory, but I feel like we are I'm starting to get a stronger than why I don't think this is his true identity. Okay?
Wait a minute. I see I can't step away for a minute with this one. No, wait a minute. Now, who is this? Robbie. Let's.
Okay, now we turn our attention back to the mysterious individual that is next to Shaner, right? We discovered that one person was from Austria, and then we're going, who's this goth kid that Phil has been clear he does not know him. Phil Lyman does not know this individual. Could I help identify him? I told you it was unusual that our inbox wasn't instantly flooded with people telling us exactly who it was. Well, then we did get another hit on him, and
do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed friends around the world to voice their support.
Yeah, right.
A handful of you similarly found the same person that we did, a person going by the name Robbie Hild, who was allegedly from Washington. Now, let me tell
how
you
long
why
has this been
I
up?
don't think this is his true identity.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because if this was just some kid who grew up in Washington, went to school in Utah, my inbox would be flooded with that name, and it's not. Okay? It's simply not. Oddly,
So
no
it's made
one has
up.
come forward to claim that they know Robbie Hild. They're all just saying, I got a hit, this might be him. No one is saying they went to school with him.
It was staged.
This is a young college student. He's allegedly, like I said, from Washington State. And no one personally can say, I know this person. How could that be? How could that be? I'm going to tell you something. So I'm starting to get a hunch about things, and we're going to go more deeply into this tomorrow. But many of you guys have been sending those clues about the Azov battalion, about Ukrainian, Russian people that were coming into Utah. There seems to be some organized movement, people that are being given new identities. Actually, one person wrote us and told us that UVU in and of itself as a campus has an unbelievable amount of dedication. I mean, even the president, I'm blanking on her name, it like majored in Soviet studies. Like they have a direct pipeline from Russia to America. It's very
Enemy of the
interesting.
state. I've been telling
And yes,
y'all that.
it is true. It is a fact that Tyler Robinson, we can't confirm that this is Mike Mitchell, but there are old photos of Tyler Robinson when he's a lot younger, visiting his uncle Mikey, okay? His uncle Mikey, who is working with the Ukrainian Azov battalion. Okay, he's a military man. And that gets really interesting when I start to combine all of the aspects of this case. And again, we are still in theory territory, but I feel like we are I'm starting to get a stronger than a theory and more of a hunch that this was a military operation, and people
Well, they said it was a
that
helicopter.
executed this are actually from overseas. And when you
Didn't they
look
say it was
at
a
the aspects
helicopter?
of the UVU case and their strong ties to that region, things get really interesting. When you look at UVU campus and their strong ties to the CIA, things start to get really interesting, right?
Intelligence,
And
right?
I think this is a path that needs to be pursued, that these people have different identities and that they are perhaps all from overseas. And it turns out that there have been, the New York Times has reported on Russian-Ukrainian spies that are building new lives from themselves,
Hi,
with new
Bobby.
IDs in America, in Brazil. Essentially what we're talking about are terrorist cells. I believe that. I believe that with the Ukrainian war, okay? And they always hack us emotionally. Oh, we need to have open borders. It allows them to get in people that are perhaps completely insane and deranged, and they are, in fact, raising little militants, and they're executing these programs. And let me tell you, if this is correct, if this is sort of like a neo-Bolshevik militant tribe, then we need to be concerned. And spiritually,
Well, Trump is
I'll tell you how I feel
involved.
spiritually, that feels right to me. I've been pleading with you guys to get your kids out of these schools. I am telling you that something very dark is going on, and I'm going to continue to stress to you that you need to take your children out of school. Homeschool your children. There is something dark that I am perceiving that is happening, not just in public schools, but in private schools as well, okay? Why our kids had to go. We couldn't get basic answers about somebody that had kind of fallen through the cracks and was posting Polish underground symbols. Her parent was posting Polish underground symbols, and I realized something was wrong. Something was off. I'm showing you this is like one headline, and this is
Isn't Bibi from isn't he Polish? I mean, before he took on this life, a Bibi. Yeah, he's a Polish criminal. And changed his name and took on an identity and picked up a Hebrew name.
translated from Russian, by the way. So the English here isn't perfect, but it is telling about White Lotus sect, of all things, for those of you that followed the Becoming Brigitte series and things that we have spoken about this White Lotus idea. It's essentially they're training fighters, and that this has been declassified, and that they have these regional organizations, these all-Ukrainian organizations, and that's exactly what it sounds like, that they're training fighters, that it's really dangerous, and my suspicion is that this is happening right here in America.
Yeah,
It would
we
make
got a
sense
president
that there
who
is
is an
global
enemy
communication
of the
if they
state.
want to take somebody out. And it is also a fact, by the way, that Charlie was on a hit list. I also was on the hit list. Tucker was on the hit list. And actually, I forgot the name of the individual that worked for Alex Jones who got killed, but he was similarly on a Ukrainian hit list. It's something that I think should be explored a little bit further. And like I said, we're going to go deeper on that topic on
Yeah, Jenna,
tomorrow,
because I'm going to
and
shut
we'll
it
bring in the
down.
aspects and show you whether or not, Uncle Mikey could be Mike Mitchell, could he be the detective? But I'm just seeing these recurring themes of the military. For whatever reason, I'm also seeing a recurring theme of child abuse,
Right.
and a recurring theme of people who appear to have changed their name, that
Right.
are operating in the shadows, and something is not right. Again,
It's going to be a
that is now turning
takeover.
into a very strong hunch. More on that tomorrow. First, we're going to tell you guys about Gold
Why
Co, because
why
according to
Trump
reports,
have
Fed Chair
hold
Jerome
on,
Powell
hold
just
on.
fueled hope.
So they are doing all of this while Trump have the military, the generals, all in one spot, right? Preoccupied. Yeah, so they're in the guards and stuff are in multiple states at one time: Chicago, Portland, Memphis, some in Texas. I mean, just all over the place. All of this is staged. Yeah, double tap your screen. I'm not moving until the lights go up. Or hit the thumbs up, send a super chat, super sticker, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I mean, the people, you know, the Epstein files are not being released, and they're still operating. They are playing right up under our nose and a takeover, and our military is not going to be prepared for an attack on U.S. soil because Trump is working deals behind the scene, allowing stuff. Venezuela, I just all over the place. Government shutdown. Cutting income. I mean, Trump is just mad at the U.S. Okay? And he has called revenge on our country. And a lot of people are just too blind to see it. A lot of foreigners here with changed names, intelligence, secret, all of that stuff. It's just not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences like that. He's setting us up. Absolutely. And Kamala Harris told us that he was going to do everything that he's doing. She told us. They didn't believe him. Come on, y'all. I need 40 likes. She told us everything. And then I just played it to y'all the other day where he said, oh, he loves getting revenge back. And he got put out. Although he cheated to get in, cheated to get in again, he had no intentions on leaving. He incited the riot, the insurrection on January 6th. They still let him back in. And then he has the nerve to be on revenge. Creating chaos on U.S. soil. And he's still trafficking with immigrants.
For a rate cut, and of course the price of gold moved higher. Over the years, we've all seen.
He said he loved that gold.
Skyrocketing inflation, surging national debt, market volatility, and never-ending wars. Gold is real, it's tangible, and it's held value for thousands of years. Unlike the stock market or currency, gold doesn't vanish when politicians make bad decisions, which, for being honest, it's happening a lot these days, and that's exactly why I've been partnering with the award-winning company Goldco, because they sell precious metals like gold and silver, and they do an amazing job with it. So whether you're worried about maple bacon and teriyaki, out. What can I say, you guys? The world is very clearly changing, and it is changing fast. Okay?
On purpose.
2 years ago, the mere idea that you might share a perspective that Jews are controlling the media, that would be considered anti-Semitic. It would be called a Jew hater. Fast forward to 2025, and Bibi Netanyahu is now hosting an on-camera meeting with American social media influencers to talk about how they are going to shape U.S. opinion. I honestly, with my eyes, I was going, this can't be real. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore, right? It's like, first it was a conspiracy theory. Now it's like, here's what we're gonna do, okay? And what are we gonna do? How are we gonna beat out all of these independent voices who are winning because they're telling the truth? So Deborah Lee asked Bibi Netanyahu specifically about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the potential loss of evangelical support for the state of Israel because of it, which, by the way, is going to be the consequence of this. It will be the consequence of this because they lied after he died, and it pissed me off, okay? Take a listen to what Deborah asks.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in this space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess. So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in this space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside of the diaspora?
It would go to a commercial, wouldn't it?
I don't know why it's always me and Tucker Carlson. Why? Why is it always Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens? Like, can it be anybody else? It's all like, what? We have nothing to do with one another. I've been on his show twice on his independent show. I just love Tucker. I do. I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like they're starting to think we're the same person. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, over and over again. But listen to Bibi's response, because prepare yourself. What he is saying is that they are about to launch a psychological war on Americans. Take a listen to what he says.
Listen.
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a premium.
Christian influencer.
Right,
Is that what he said?
You know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually the woke Reich. That's a premium.
A psychological war on Americans. Take a listen to what he says.
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a premium. The woke right. Because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time.
Use the tools of battle.
The swords, that doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know.
Did he say use the tools of battle? He's talking about Christians.
Like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. Money of governments, vast. You said, you talked about the woke right.
Prepare yourself. What he is saying is that they are about to launch a psychological war on Americans. Take a listen to what he says.
Christian influencers, okay? You said, you talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a premium. The woke right. Because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. You should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
You can live
Wow.
at home. Okay, so like we're allowed to say Israel controls the media now. Okay, I think that's just like on camera now. There will be no dispute about this. The fact that you have a foreign leader, it's incredible. You have a foreign leader who is sitting up there saying that he wants his agents, he needs the deal to go through, which by the way, let's call out Donald Trump right now.
Yeah, call him out.
We don't want China. We don't want China to own TikTok, and I'm worried about your data. No, you wanted to hand it over to your Zionist friends. Okay, it was all a mirage. Okay, it was all
every bit of
fear.
it.
Donald Trump has sold us out to Israel once again. Okay,
I've been trying to
he's
tell
saying,
y'all
I want
this.
this deal to go through, and we know who's a part of that deal. It's Larry Ellison, who he's very clear about the fact that he's an agent of Israel. Andreessen Horowitz,
Okay, y'all, listen. I'm going on an hour. Right now, it's 200 people in here. I need 40 likes ASAP. I promise you, I'm going to shut it down. Bye, Kate. Who is Kate? Did you get Kate up out of here? I didn't even see it. Oh, that EU stuff. I didn't even know who that was. I didn't know who that. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. Come on, y'all. Double tap your screen. Let me get on another device because I can be. Oh, it's not even on. Thank you. I saw it, but I didn't. I was. If you saw how close up I was trying to make sure I hear everything that this man is saying because they playing in our face. They are planning like a heist. Always trying to change the narrative. Yep. Double tap your screen. Change that narrative. Change the numbers. How about that? I need 20, 25. Come on, y'all. Yep, in our face. That's why they're not talking about the lady. I need to change the title. Who is the lady that was with the shooter? They're not talking about the guy in all black. They're just not talking about it. I wonder why. But I was watching it again. You charged this young man. I mean, and hey, I don't know if it's a whole family thing. I don't know. I don't know if it is a group of, I don't know. But you're hitting him with capital murder plus additional charges. Hey, Bubba. Yeah, and you know, again, I know that the paperwork they put out. But, you know, that could be fake because the other guy, he is a undercover writer. Yeah, well, just keep listening, Sherry, because if you don't know what we're talking about, I don't know where you've been. So just keep listening. Maybe it'll connect, or you can go back at the beginning and watch it over, so that you can have a better understanding. Hey, Precious. Yeah, come on with the likes. Come on. Double tap the screen on your phone, or hit the 3 buttons at the top right over the comment section. The next time I have to stop, I'm shutting it down.
Horowitz, from which all of the connections, PragerU, I can tell you the stories, PragerU, David Horowitz Foundation, and Ben Shapiro, all of them related in their beginnings in Los Angeles. So he's basically saying, we need to take over TikTok because what are they going to do? What they've already done? They're going to censor speech. The reason that they got on board, just like the ADL spokesperson said when he was caught on the mic, was like, we need to do something about TikTok. And now they're doing the thing, right? They are going to take over TikTok and they're going to ban your speech. It's happening right now. The second that CEO who said she was a proud Zionist, or maybe she wasn't the CEO, but one of the executives there that they installed immediately after, she said she was a proud Zionist and just spent time in Israel. We saw instantly that our content was getting strikes. You can't say anything bad right now about Israel on TikTok. And this is because it's what Bibi Netanyahu has willed, right? They want to censor speech, which was something that Charlie was very worried about. He was very worried about what Israel was doing to come inward on speech, and I have those text messages with him. And yeah, so that's actually happening. We are going to be, we're going to become subject to a psychological operation. This is what they do. You can see it on X. There's all of these, like, I call them military bots, and they're just like sock puppets who just say wonderful things about Israel all the time. You can see them in my comments. They just like post the Israel flag over and over and over again, and that's what they want to subject Americans to, and they think that is going to, in the long run, bring people over to their side. It's the exact opposite, obviously. Okay, it's so dumb to think. It's like, have you even gone through basic parenting 101? You're going to tell these people that they are going to be forced to like and support your country. They're most certainly not going to. Instead, they're going to see you as what you are, which is problematic. You have no business as a foreign leader speaking publicly about how you're planning to take over social media sites in America, because opinion against your country has rightfully shifted. Okay, because opinion has rightfully shifted against your country,
and we know that it's fake.
Your behavior, right? Like Charlie said, on the basis of your.
And we know that it is fake. It is fake. We know that he is from Poland. That he has taken on an identity with fake name. He's a convicted criminal. So is Trump. That's why they are friends. Yeah, no. So no. Israel, who? No. Yeah, it's not the Israel in the Bible. No. No. This one was created in 1948 by the Rothschilds. No, we're not going. And then you're intentionally playing with Christians. You're playing with us. You're manipulating. You are a wolf in sheep clothing. You intentionally have people thinking that it's biblical. That's why what you're doing and what was being said, it didn't line up. It didn't line up. It did not line up. I was like, no, that this cannot be about God. Not the God I serve, with so much hate and disregard. Murder and mayhem for no reason, just controlling power? I knew better. This does not sound like God. This is not sound. And we still need to release the Epstein files. Oh yeah, they better come on, because I'm finna shut it down. I'm not gonna be on here 2 or 3 hours and I can't even get the likes. No super chat, no super sticker, no support. I'm telling you, I'm gonna shut it down.
Behavior. Okay? You fall
Shout out to
into
Candy,
every stereotype. Stereotypes
Candace
wouldn't exist
Owens.
if you didn't behave this way. That's
And
the
let me
reality.
say this. I used to
You-
think
you're
that
on
this
camera.
girl lady was crazy as hell. I thought she was crazy as hell. But her light bulb came on. Her light. And she realized it. She's apologized for supporting him. She knows exactly what's going on. But she was conditioned. She was conditioned. Just like Charlie was. Until the light bulb comes on. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, doggy. Yeah. But she has a lot of sense. And she has a lot of intel. Yeah. But it sounds like to me, I mean, because Kanye, she's very knowledgeable of that MK Ultra. Woo, look at that. 2 months. T-Sipper, shout out to Janet. Lifestyles for Janet. Thank you for your support. 2 months of T-Sipper. Well, part of the T family. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it.
You have zero shame in saying this. You could have said anything there, right? Like a person would say, wow, we want to get out the truth. We want to be better people. We are going to be.
And you sent a super chat super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all show the green some love. Hit that thumbs up there as well as the regular one. So we can keep going. I'm going to tell you. What time is it? I'm an hour and 7 minutes in. Okay. Thank you, Janet.
Subject to a psychological operation. This is what they do. You can see it on X. There's all of these, like, I call them military bots, and they're just like sock puppets who just say wonderful things about Israel all the time. You can see them in my comments. They just like post the Israel flag over and over and over again, and that's what they want to subject Americans to, and they think that is going to, in the long run, bring people over to their side. It's the exact opposite, obviously. Okay, it's so dumb to think. It's like, have you even gone through basic parenting 101? You're going to tell these people that they are going to be forced to like and support your country. They're most certainly not going to. Instead, they're going to see you
Sassy
as what
lady.
you are, which is problematic. You have no business as a foreign leader speaking publicly about how you're planning to take over social media sites in America, because opinion against your country has rightfully shifted. Okay? Because opinion has rightfully shifted against your country on the basis of your behavior.
Absolutely.
Right? Like Charlie said, on the basis of your behavior. Okay? You fall into every stereotype. The stereotypes wouldn't exist if you didn't behave this way. That's the reality. You're on camera. You have zero shame in saying this. You could have said anything there, right? Like a person would say, wow, we want to get out the truth. We want to be better people. We want to commit ourselves to not killing hundreds of thousands of children. And I think that people will start to like us again. He's like, no, we just need to crush them. We need to crush speech by controlling speech in America. And that's what their plan is. Look no further than this random attack that Megyn Kelly is going through, okay? For no reason at all. And I was...
Controlling the speech.
I hate to say this, but I was laughing reading Konstantin Kissin's tweets and what they were saying to her, because I lived it. I lived what Megyn Kelly's going through. I lived what Charlie was going through, where suddenly you realize people that are pretending to be your friends, they're like, I'm your friend, I care about you, are actually like agents And that's why I say they're Mr. Smith from the Matrix, and they're real close to ruining your life if you don't do what they want, okay? So for no reason at all, I'll tell you how this transpired. Megyn Kelly tweeted her episode and said, listen to Charlie in his own words about what he was going through. And for whatever reason, Florida Dab, which is one of these like Zio bot accounts that constantly tweets in favor of Israel, wrote this to Megyn. We can pull this up.
If you're thinking about getting a pen to a pillow, you need to hear this first. So I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life.
He writes, if you can't separate yourself from Candace Owens, many of us are going to separate ourselves from you. She didn't mention anything about me. He says, we do not have to align with everyone that claims to be of the right when their motives and history are as shady as hers. Megyn Kelly and I have no attachment to the idea that he's demanding that she make a statement against me is insane. She replies, she holds the line, she says, look at this. No, I have no obligation to, quote unquote, separate myself from anyone. I run my own media company and my own show. That show is where I express my own opinions, and I will decide what and what not to opine on. If you need me to condemn Candace or Tucker for their opinions in order to listen to me, then I may not be for you. He's a close friend, and she is under enough pressure without gratuitous shots from me. My fight is with the left, not these two. Like, kudos to Megyn Kelly. Like, what? And yes, she is friends with Tucker. They've been friends for a very long time. And yeah, I'm kind of taking a lot of bullets right now, so I thank you, Megyn, for not just taking a gratuitous swipe because I'm breathing over here. But it's not enough. So then they bring the other agent, Constant Kissin, which, by the way, there's going to be a day where I just release everybody's.
Well, see, why don't they stop with the left and the right until? See, that's going to be a problem. You still want it to be left and right, and when you got foreign countries coming in here, why people are battering left and right, and I don't have a problem with her, I have a problem with the left. No, you have a problem with these foreign countries coming in here and your president making deals with them because he's a foreigner too. Okay? I mean, okay? That he's in debt to. So he done sold us to the highest bidder and have us having wars on our own soil. So they are attacking us in what is it called? Depopulation within our country while they're stealing this country's money. And so it's not about left and right. I mean, stop it. I mean, when is the light going to come on for you? That's why he keeps saying, oh, they did it. The Democrats, the Democrat, yeah. There's no file. There's nothing there to see. On the Epstein files. I am actually anticipating seeing a whole bunch of Democrats. I want to have something to say because it really appears that the left is holding it down. Even though we didn't agree with Charlie, we still are trying to hold it down in a peaceful tone while people are creating chaos to make people react in our country. Where they know that there has been hell, half the staff are predators. I mean, the cabinet staff are predators, have dealings, investments in foreign countries. They're getting rich, and we can't even eat. I mean, we can, but we can't. They are lining their pockets while they are creating chaos with the left and the right. Wake up, people. Wake up, people.
So I thank you, Megyn, for not just taking a gratuitous swipe because I'm breathing over here. But it's not enough. So then they bring the other agent, Constant Kissin, which, by the way, there's going to be a day where I just release everybody's family genealogy. His is astonishing. But these are all agents of Israel. Let's be very clear. Constant Kissin then comes in and says, here's the problem.
The fake
Free
Israel.
speech warrior, Constant Kissin. The problem with this approach, which many on the right are taking, is that this is exactly how the left allowed in its own extremists, or extremists, to first flourish and then to become the face of the entire movement. If you agree with Candace and Tucker, people will respect that. But to many of us, their behavior is so extreme and so deranged that the idea that it can be simply ignored because you're fighting.
Okay, so let's be clear. This right here is why they tried to silence Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel did not say anything to me that was out of line about Charlie Kirk or his family. What he did, though, was acknowledge the fact that he was taken out. He was backdoored. And that is his partner, his mentor, DT, wasn't concerned about it. He was concerned about the concrete being laid for the ballroom in a house that's not his. And they wanted to censor him, punish him for saying the truth. And again, it took we the people, it didn't matter left, right, front, back, black or white, to stand together and say no. We don't need to wait until it's too late in this country from what is obvious right in our face, that we can see with our own two eyes, that we have a leader who is working against us, and he's using the left and the right, the black and the white, to keep us divided. That's all I'm gonna say. Next time, if I don't have my likes, next time I pause, it's going to be spinning around.
Is quote unquote with the left doesn't wash. You have always been a great, principled, truth-seeking journalist, so to many of your admirers like me, the question might be, if you agree with them, fine. But if you don't, why isn't your fight with them? This is almost verbatim. It's like scary to me because I'm like, this is like military training. Almost verbatim, a text message that I received from Marissa Streit when I like retweeted Max Blumenthal, I think once, when he said something that I totally agreed with, and then like all of the agents, like Dave Rubin, all of them are like, don't you see what you did? And they make you think you're going crazy, but they would kind of pretend to be your friend, and you're like, what did I do wrong? Like I just said, genocide is always wrong. I just retweeted Max Blumenthal, something he said that was sensible, and they come in and they're like, I understand what you're doing. I'm your friend. But I worry that other
manipulating
people are going to see what you're doing.
Wolf in sheep clothing.
Just, I want you to be okay, because we're just wondering, like, we all agree that that's bad, right? So why don't you just say what I'm telling you to say,
right,
Meg? Or you're going to get it. We're going to ruin your effing life. That's the subtext, Meg. That is the subtext, Megan. I can promise you that. I lived it. There's no halfway with these people. I'm telling you, there's no halfway. She didn't do anything. She shared her episode and said, if you want to hear Charlie Kirk in his own words, here it is. That is literally what they are responding to.
But that's kind of what Charlie did with that Carson guy.
She says, the more one insists that I say what one demands me to, the more committed I get in my refusal. This was Charlie. He was like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm digging my heels in because they know what this is. Okay, Megan is an adult. She's also quite brilliant. She's not going to fall for this, should I call it babble? Right, constant kissing, and you're sitting here
this
trying
is crazy.
She's like trying to manipulate a toddler. She's not stupid. And he says, I demand nothing of you, and I'm coming from a position of great respect. I'm simply asking why
the manipulation is
that
crazy.
Lies told by prominent people on the right shouldn't be challenged in the way that we all challenge lies told by people on the left. And she said, your response proves the opposite of what it purports to. She sees right through him. Of course she does, because she's not a child, okay? This is how the agents work. They pretend to be your friend, and I'm telling you, if she doesn't buck, because that's what they want, we will whip you and you will buck. and buy you a buck by making a strong statement against Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, when we demand it. Then they will send the next layer, which is a full-blown press attack. The press that they do not control, by the way. They do not control the press. That's anti-Semitic. I want to be very clear. They don't control it, but they will control it when they come after her if she doesn't do what they say. Watch that space, you guys. Watch that space. Okay, I want to make sure that I get to some of your comments because a lot of you guys have been writing.
Wow.
I first want to throw it to Pure Talk because
the
our society
manipulation
works because of the
is
freedoms
real.
guaranteed by the First Amendment. Everyday Americans should be able to speak openly and about honesty,
Yeah, they're
family,
trying
traditional
to
values without any retribution, and that's a
take
principle
our
Pure Talk
rights.
proudly supports. They sponsor my show, which allows me to stand strong behind the microphone every day and share the truth with you.
Our
If you want to
rights.
support brands that defend freedom and pro-American values, I encourage you to
Oh,
switch your
wow.
wireless service to Pure Talk. You're going to get
Our
great
rights
5G
are in
coverage, an
danger.
extremely reliable and secure network, and with plans for just
20%.
$25 a month, you'll save a ton of money.
Oh,
Pure
no,
Talk
girl, I
believes in
can't do
creating
that.
American jobs and supporting small business. So if you're
I can't do that. Oh, they're trying to take our rights and control us for real. And because Donald Trump is in so much debt with Israel, he has to do what they say. That's why it's Israel first.
everything right here in the USA. They deliver world-class quality while staying true, and you'll get 10% off. All right, guys, what is on your mind? I always feel like I get in trouble in the comment section for some reason. Oh, I wanted to read this email that came in because Turning Point had the USU event last night that went back to Utah and returned, made a big splash about that, and this person attended and wrote this to me. It reads, Dear Candace, tonight, which is September 30th, 2025, several friends and myself attended the TPUSA event at Utah State University. There was full agreement that all were disappointed. The event was scripted, the allowance of open dialogue was absent, and the entire presentation lacked authenticity. I'm happy to answer any questions about specifics, but if this is how TPUSA is going to proceed, then it will not be successful. I fully agree with you. That if this is the vibe that we're getting and catching right now, they're not going to be successful. Okay, you're never smarter than your audience. I say it over and over again. Everyone perceives that something is not right and we are not getting the truth and they are too mum. And I definitely know, I received other emails, people saying that they felt that it was very much controlled. But I feel like it gets to a more broader point, which is that nothing that is fake will survive in the long run. Okay, and there's a lot of fakeness and gayness that is happening right now, and yesterday it's why I just went ahead and took a shot at the beast. I will not allow them to turn Turning Point USA into a company that is shilling for Israel. I have people that are telling me that they're handing out TPUSA faith packets, and like Israel is mentioned 8 times. Someone submitted it to me. I read it. It's
That's why he, listen, that's why he wanted to buy. I don't want to stop because I said if I stop it again, I'm ending it. But listen, I can lower her
Turning Point
tone.
worked because Charlie was authentic. Okay? Whether you agree with him or not, I can tell you.
That's why Bibi Netanyahu wanted to buy, wanted to pay Charlie off, offered him millions of dollars. He declined. That's why he wanted him to come to Israel. He denied, and then that's a couple of days later, he was gone because he wanted to take over Turning Point.
That behavior now and just trying to pretend that the last part didn't happen, it sickens me. It won't survive unless there is more truth, and we should absolutely demand it. There is a note here from my producer, from Erica Mindel, who is an American-Israeli Jewish former IDF soldier currently serving as the, oh, that's her name, right, Erica Mindel. She is the public policy manager of hate speech, and she's been at TikTok since July of this year, and she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm an IDF soldier, and it's now war, and we own this space, so of course the deal is going to go through if they're already putting IDF soldiers in control of monitoring our speech, which means we only have to get louder, and maybe we'll just choose a different platform in general if this is the direction that they want to go in.
Well, I'm glad I'm not on TikTok.
Would you want to debate the more prominent commentators like Ben Shapiro, Brandon Tatum, and PBD on the topics of Israel, Mossad, and Palestine? They all have hinted and danced around calling you anti-Jewish, genetically speaking, and excessive in their videos. I would debate PBD. I would debate Ben Shapiro. I wouldn't debate Brandon Tatum because I love Brandon Tatum like a brother. And nobody wins in that scenario. I've just known him, like I know Brandon, I came up with him and Charlie, and I just know him as like a human being, and there's some things that to me are just like are bigger than politics. And so any conversation or debate that I'm going to have with Brandon will be treated in the same way, like the debates that I would have had with Charlie. You know, Charlie and I never threw each other under any buses publicly, and when we did disagree, we had those disagreements privately. And so
Hey,
I would
Bryant.
say the same about Brandon Tatum, and I hope that clarifies. A lot of people were asking me about Brandon. He has been there for me. He's been there for my family. I see him as a human and not a political opponent. So that's my honest truth there. Rachel Day says, is it me or is it strange that not a single security guard pulled a gun once shots rang out? I am praying for you, Candace, and I'm grateful for this reporting.
They sure did
We cannot
not.
be ignorant here. Virtual hug from a homeschool mom. Just started the homeschooling thing this week. They're adorable. Yes, I think it is strange, actually.
They
I thought about that
sure
after the
did
fact, and they
not
seem
pull
to
a
know that
gun
nothing else is
at
coming.
all.
Now, you could also, if we're being charitable, say that you're just, you're just so overwhelmed and you jump and you just are trying to save Charlie, but you would think that one person would have been guarding, holding a gun, especially if you're trained to do these things.
Yeah,
and the amount of money
because
that they were making
how
off
do
of
you know
Charlie,
that there
Charlie
still wasn't
ended up buying,
a
everyone knows they
threat?
ended up taking on that security firm. Yeah, you're kind of not the person that's allowed to freak out in those situations, and a lot of mistakes were made, and a lot
Oh,
of things cannot be explained.
wow.
The Menagerie by Drea Lee writes, one of Tyler Robinson's lawyers, Michael Burt, previously represented Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. Ramirez was in the same jail as Sean Penn in 1987, who was serving 33 days. How do you feel about Tyler's legal team? I have not explored that. I have been so hyper-focused. People, I know you guys have been like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? I want to solve who did this, right? And I want to do it in a way that makes sense to me. I'm a timeline person. I'm very good at gathering data and intel, vetting that information that I'm getting, and sharing it with the public in a
Wow.
way that they can digest. There's a lot of different
They was
rabbit
too
holes
busy
that
doing
should be
hand
chased.
signals.
That's definitely
They
one of them.
never
But my
pulled.
main
They
focus right now
never
is trying to figure out
pulled their
who else was
weapon.
involved on that day. Who is the lady that was in that photo? Marzi writes, this just in, the FBI just cut ties with the ADL after Turning Point USA criticism. They share a building, just FBI and ADL share a building. They're one and the same. I hope you guys know that. They share a building, I think, in Connecticut. Also, Israel is taking over ExpressVPN and other VPN websites. I always had a conspiracy about that. I used to read ads for them, ExpressVPN, when I was working for Daily Wire. And in back of my mind, I was like, it would make sense that they would train us to actually filter so much data. So they're like, actually, why don't you pretend that this VPN hides things, and so that we know exactly where to look? And once I found that it was started by an Israeli billionaire, I was like, yeah, no, that's going to be a spying thing. That's how I felt, at least. I was like, they're just going to see what you want to hide and go straight there. So you're basically taking on the process of filtering for them. That's my conspiracy theory, one of many that I have, as you guys know, because you listen to the show. Lily writes, first, they made a false statement about Candace not being friends with Charlie. They pushed through their minions in the media. Now they planted a fake letter in the same New York Post and their minions. Candace must be up to something.
High
Yeah,
exclusive.
I know who had
So
access to
where's
Charlie's
he
laptop.
at then?
And I have questions
Charlie?
about that, but I'm going to wait for the financial report to come out, which I am not handling.
You talking
And I
about
got
Charlie?
question marks about a couple of people over at
No.
Turning Point USA. And yeah, I think we should definitely be speaking about these shady pastors.
Probably
I hope
it's
this
on
is the year
some
of the shady
military
pastor.
base
After
somewhere
Operation Mocking
in
Pastor, learning why
Alligator
they specifically don't take money
Alcatraz.
from Israel, but they take money from an agent of Israel or an organization like the International Fellowship of Christian and Jews, which if you go to their website, it's basically
Okay, so
like,
hold
hey,
on.
Christians, here's
Okay,
what you
I'm
can
finna
do
get
for
ready to go,
Jews.
but let me hear
There's
this.
nothing that's spoken about what Christians are going through, and they flood money into that, and they get you to say that it's like a fellowship program, but then they have you like gathering pastors and paying off people. I mean, it's an ugly business, and I think it's about to all get exposed. I think it was a bad.
Once again, it's not my place to judge. I can only imagine what this person is going through. I say this with the deepest humility possible. Deepest humility possible. But Erica Kirk goes up there. First of all, she declares herself the CEO of the organization. Is that really appropriate? I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I don't think that an organization, a big political organization that's traditional, How is that consistent with those values? All this talk about biblical values, the values Charlie Kirk defended, now we have a female girl boss. And maybe that sounds disrespectful in the moment, but it's what it is.
I mean, but that's
She's
cool,
now
but
gonna
it's
become
just so
the
quick.
CEO. That makes sense the week that he's killed in a year. Does that make a ton of sense? Not so sure. And she gets up there and she says she forgives the killer. Now, once again, I say this with the deepest humility. How she responds to this is her right. It's not even my place to say it's her right. Of course it's her right. It's her husband. It's the father of her children, of course. And like I said, I cannot even imagine what she's going through.
That's true, he
and
did.
I pray for her. And God bless her. God bless her and her children and her late husband.
Mm-hmm.
But she said she forgave the killer. And this I have a problem with. A lot of people responded to this, and it was a controversial remark. And a lot of people said that was weakness. People said, and I think I understand that reaction, people said, we're being murdered, and we're so eager to forgive. And other people responded to that, and they said, well, there's no tension there. They said, because we can forgive on a personal level, while also pursuing justice on the level of government. In other words, we can let go of revenge and pain and bitterness on a personal level, while also pursuing justice for the good of society, for the good of the perpetrator and their victims, because God is not just merciful, he's also just. But I would say that both of these positions missed the mark. This was my thought on it. She either meant what she said or she didn't.
Believe me, she didn't. And people also probably judge me. I think Erica Kirk is like so fake. Like for real. Like she
she
started
fake.
to annoy me like so much. She is way
And she
too
been
much in the
and
picture.
she been knowing
And, like,
Trump longer than she been knowing Charlie.
She's too much. And she's starting to annoy me and probably more people. But
She's
also,
an actress,
what she
so
was
what do
doing,
y'all
she was making
expect?
this-
She's
I don't
an
know if you guys have seen this,
actress.
like she made
She
like
was
video
a
on
plant.
Instagram, and she took like a picture of.
I don't know who this
the
guy
head of
is
Charlie
talking,
Kirk,
so I'm trying to
when
talk
she was
over
standing
him.
next to his coffin.
But
And
she
posted this
was
online. That's,
a
like,
plant,
so inappropriate in my opinion.
so
Like, you
that
can't
she
do that. It's
could
so
get that
disrespectful. And of
company,
course,
I
she is
guess.
like,
I don't know.
She was
She
the
said,
wife
I
of Charlie
really
Kirk. I understand that she is
did
maybe
love you.
allowed to do this, but also she is like way too much in the picture. She's. I get the feeling that she wants to make like Turning Point USA into like Erica Point USA. It's just too much, and like
No, it's go. She's gonna
feel free
sell
to be a
it
baby, but this
to
is just how I feel, and I'm just
BB.
being honest about it. Like,
What's
Erica
that man's
Kirk, she should
name?
take some time, like, take some rest
Not
and
gonna
spend some time
fool with
with your
you.
family, with your children. They need you now. And stop being like. She just wants to be in the picture the whole time. It's starting to annoy me. I just wanted to share this.
You see how Trump was feeling on
And I
her?
find both to be
Absolutely.
problematic. She said, I forgive the killer. And everybody applauded.
Bet not who we.
This was the shot heard around the world. That's actually a horror. I mean, shouldn't say it that way.
BB
but
not
this
gonna
was
who he.
like the big line. I didn't say that to be funny or glib. This was like the big line of the night that everybody was talking about. She said, I forgive the killer. And I heard that and I sort of said, that's not right. And I'm going to tell you why.
Tell us why.
What was taken from her is her husband, but also the father of 2 young children. And also up to and potentially 50, 60 years, maybe more, of memories, of support, of love, of everything. Think about the magnitude of what was lost. This was a young couple. They would have had more kids. Think about how many days where they kiss each other before they go out to work. Think about how many late nights where they're taking care of each other. Think about how they grow old together. Think about how
Think
the
about
father is there
how
for the children when they
Humpty
meet their
Dumpty,
first,
you know,
when they go and
had
have
her
their first day of
first.
school, when they go on a first date, when they go off to college, when they get married, when they have children of their own,
Oh, she
grandchildren,
ain't thinking about that.
great-grandchildren, weddings,
She's a reality
all kinds of different
star.
things.
I mean,
Think about the
hey,
magnitude
Prime
of what
Minister
was
Chris.
stolen from these people.
You
Stolen
came in and my lights didn't go up.
from
How
Charlie's
that
mother,
happen?
from his sister, from his wife, from
I'm
his
finna
children.
shut down on y'all.
And this guy had to be the light of their lives. This is an ambitious, remarkable, energetic, charismatic
What'd I
guy.
say,
This
Brian?
and it's not to say that we don't mourn the loss of anybody.
Happy October.
But this guy was the center, the rock of his family, his extended family,
okay.
his colleagues. People looked up
Because
to
I
him.
know I'm finna
He
shut it
mentored
down.
people. Like this was a
Because
solid
I
guy.
already naming highways after
He could have
Charlie.
been the president.
I just
man.
don't get.
Think about what was stolen from him and everyone he loved. And
I ain't
everyone
never
that
heard
loved
of him until he died.
It's been
So
11
I'm
fucking
just
days.
trying to 11 days.
If she meant that she forgave him, and I'm not mad at her, but if she sincerely forgives him,
I said a lot.
I don't know. Is there an accounting of that loss? Maybe it just hasn't set in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Her-
it makes me mad.
her
myself.
millions.
And I will speak for
See,
myself.
this is what happens. Y'all
I
talked
would
about
never forgive
Cassie
the
getting
person
20
who does
million.
this
She
to
got a
my
whole
family
bunch of
members,
millions,
my
like
wife,
50,
my
I
children,
think.
just
Yeah.
anyone close to me. If someone
Bye,
is-
Charlie.
someone
She's saying
assassinates
bye.
someone who is really close to me, and
Yeah,
in this
we
example,
heard her
like
real
your
voice
wife,
yesterday. What
your
are you talking
husband,
about?
Erica, I could never.
We
ever,
heard her
ever forgive
real
this man. And this is also
voice.
why I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, people will maybe hate me, but this is also why I think that this whole like, oh, I forgive you, was fake AF. It was fake AF. She is just like.
Well, both, listen, whoever you are, sir,
Just
what's
like
your
to be
name
like
so
a
I don't
picture kid and
disrespect
all
you?
that.
Purge. Oh, Lord, let me get off. Purge. Listen, she been fake. She was fake from the, would she sound like the Stepford Wives or the Hunter game when she was on that? I don't know what you thought. If you thought you was silencing him, you're dead wrong. It will live for, that was fake. And then I really did love you was fake. I mean, if they had all that money, whoever had him in that casket and she kissed the hand that was feeding her, hell, I know they patched him up that you could have showed. We could have seen him, even if it was from a distance, him laying in the casket. I mean, for real? I mean, if he was so loved, right? We saw you had a Freemason ring on your hand, and hell, but all we saw is the wax figure of a hand. Okay? We don't know who hand that was. But you said, I really did love you. That was fake. And I forgive you was fake. Now, what was real is the KK we saw, EK. EK we saw yesterday. Yeah, her. No, really. That was the real EK. Okay. Yeah, she was in the pageant. That was the real EK. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was the real EK. She said, I really did love you. Yeah, I know it was supposed to be fake. I mean, I know I would, but I really did love you. I don't want nobody to ever act like they in love with me, and then in my funeral they said I really did. Now you still love me, right? I mean, it's gonna be hard for you to move on, right? I mean, right? Oh, now she already ha and somebody else's EK had a DT. And they met up in the ladies' room when she was filling on his diaper to see if his diaper needed changing. At the pep rally that was AKA funeral. Okay? How did I do? How did I sum it up? How did I do, y'all? How was that? Did I sum it up? He grabbed her on, and she reached back there and then smelled her hand, because I just looked at a picture of something. There was like a look she had on her face. It's because she smelled her hand when she went to go wipe her nose. You know how they play with their nose, boy. Her and Charlotte, they sure be playing with their nose. Well, you know. And whoever that lookalike was, they got it down pat, because he was playing with their nose the same way Charlie was playing with his nose. Right? But she touched the tip of that nose, baby, and she smelled that shit from that pamper and lost it. Like, oh, Lord, I forgive you. After smelling that shit, woo! I forgive you, Lord. Woo-hoo! There is a God. What was that? Shit on my hand. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm finna get ready to go. Yeah, they could sure hit their nose, can't they? Okay, yeah, I'm finna get ready to go. Trump shitted right there. Yeah, she reached back there. He got excited. You know, he normally shit in the front. I don't know how he do that. I don't know. But I seen that shit for myself. Lord, AunTeaFee, why you keep saying shit? Cause I feel like I can smell it. And it's just like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go wash my hands. Yeah, all that shit was fake. All of it. What Janice saying? I can't see it. Why I can't see it? What Janice say? Bubba, she is already won. Who already won? Who already won? What I miss? Okay, good people. Y'all could. You bad. Who bad? Doom, 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 doom. She's bad. Ain't that Michael Jackson? Oh yeah, he done already been in that bed, boo boo.
With new headlights on like in all like on the news and everywhere, social media.
I don't know this guy.
Kirk forgives.
Thank you. Ooh, Brian. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you. Y'all show some love to Brian Bailey.
Just everyone.
He said, wait a holla.
But anyway, maybe
Holla. Let me see what else I can see real quick.
Seriously, I could never ever forgive a person who did this to my family.
Well, let me say this. I wanted to see where they was finna go with this, because this is why we have to be really, really, really careful playing with God. This is why we have to really, really be careful. Now, I know everybody is not on the same level with their walk with Christ. I get it. I understand it. He was very adamant about his relationship and how, God. Now, I knew that what he said on one part was solid, and then on the other side, it just did not line up with God, right? Now, biblically, what she said is what she was supposed to say, especially if I don't know anything about Turning Point. I don't want to visit it. I know it's not my cup of tea. I know it's not my cup of tea, because if I am in a church, now real talk, y'all, get my lights up, because I should have been gone, but I need to say this. I have been at a church. I don't necessarily care what denomination it is, because if you're a true believer in Christ, you can go to any place of worship, okay? because the church is the people. So you can go to any place that the gospel is being preached. Now, if the gospel is not being preached, then you need to get up. So it's not necessarily at this, especially at this point in my life. I know better, right? Right? So it could be Baptist, it could be AME, it could be whatever denomination, as long as the gospel's being preached. Now, if the gospel not being preached, I'm gonna get up and I'm leaving. I'm not gonna entertain it. I'm not going to, I'm just not. I know better. I am a firm believer that when God says, my sheep know my voice. And if you're not there yet, I get it. But for the ones who are there, right? Why would I be sitting somewhere trying to figure out if this is God or not? And I have a relationship with him. So why should I sit there and entertain this foolishness when I know that what they're saying is, one, not coming from a man or a woman after God's own heart, and I hear the hate, and God is not of hate in no shape or form. So I don't know how what Turning Point was about, but if they tried to preach it on that level, then that was, and she still has an assembly, then that's what she needs to preach, right? Because that's what they represent. Now, if that ain't what they represent, then you speak from how you feel. But if Turning Point is an organization that is spiritually based, then that's what she was supposed to say. I forgive you. And let the judicial system handle that. Because the forgiveness, hear me, y'all. Because I know some people saying, AunTeaFee crazy, she tripping. No. We have to get to a point in our spiritual walk with God and recognize, I have to position it for myself as, it's me and God. He finna pardon the sea and gonna move everybody to the left and to the right, and he gonna clear that, because this between me and you. The forgiveness is between me and you. It's not you and the person. Does that make sense? Now, I know it's hard for us to separate it, but that's why I said, I don't know where you are in your relationship with God, but the forgiveness is between you and God. The forgiveness is not between you and the person who trespassed against you. And we have to get to that before we meet our Maker. Because forgiveness is in your heart. And if he judge your heart, then what you gonna do? You think you gonna be able on Judgment Day to be like, yo, God, come on, man. Come on. You didn't mean that, did you? God, I thought you was playing, man. What? Why you didn't get me right then? Now it's God's fault. You understand? And I'm being humorous with it, but I'm being for real. Because you're not going to be able to hustle God when it comes time for you to meet your Maker. That hustle game, that street stuff, that ain't going to, what? What? Yeah, but my word was the gospel. My word for you didn't have nothing to do with streets. I mean, where was that in my word? Hey, Mrs. Tom. I mean, when are we gonna really, start looking at it like that? Street code ain't nowhere in the Bible. It ain't nowhere in there. So everything that how I feel, what I think, God ain't never asked us one time how we feel. When? We got a lot of hangups. We got a lot of misconceptions in us. That's why you have to reach out for your own personal relationship with God. People plant a whole bunch of bad seeds in us, and we think we're gonna be able to take that to God on Judgment Day. And he gonna be like, what? And I say, what now? But what did I tell you? So, we got to, it ain't no, he gonna be like, but what did I say? And then you gonna wanna, here go my thing. I have my little thing with God. I don't wanna go back to the end of the line. Be okay, well, can I go back? Can I go? Now he say, you here now. You here now. I can't go back and fix it. You can't, you can't send me back so I can try it again. He was like, how many times did I give you? How many chances? But you wanted to be stuck on street code. You followed the street code more than you followed my word. Yeah, but God, it took you too long, man. I ain't see no get back. Now y'all know that's how it's gonna be, right? Yeah, Miss Tom, you had me. I don't know what you was saying. I don't know what happened, but you had me looking at you at a comment like, what? Oh yeah, I was talking about me and God because my lip was up just then. I was like, yeah, what? Put that lip down. Put that gang lip. But y'all do know this, right? All these street codes, all of these hang ups, all of this stuff, and God's gonna look at us like we crazy. So in all actuality, a lot of the stuff that these folk be saying, oh, okay. It's not, I don't normally go along with none of this stuff that these folks be saying, but and spiritually, that's what she was supposed to say. Now, I don't know if that was what was really in her heart, but that was what she was supposed to say. That's what she's supposed to say. But I do think right now we need to really do some soul searching, and we need to, understand that a lot of the things that we do that is contrary as Christians. Now, I can only speak because that's all I know. Is that we need to try to get our act together because these people trying to take us out. And a lot of stuff that we think is okay, that's not okay. And God is going to look at us like, no. Do you know that revenge means that you don't trust me to do what I said that I am going to do? So you didn't believe me. Yeah, these are the type of conversations that a lot of us are going to be having with God on Judgment Day. Y'all do know that, right? I'm confused. We need DM. I have it on IG. Y'all do know that, right? that come out whenever our judgment day is, that a lot of stuff that we think that we gonna be, that God gonna be like, yeah, but you said this, yeah, but God, you know, all that hustling, God, yeah, that ain't gonna work. So that eye for eye, he gonna say, well, see, when I came and died for the remission of sin, all that eye for eye stuff kind of went out the window. Yeah, I said, vengeance is mine. Ain't that what he said, y'all? Didn't he say, vengeance is mine, said the Lord? So that give back stuff, are we really supposed to be on that give back? Or are we supposed to trust and believe in him that he gonna do what he say he gonna do? And if he says vengeance is his, then we have to trust and believe. Now, it may not be on our time, but it's gonna be on his time. So again, I'm saying all that to say what she said was the right thing to say biblically. Now, the hood in us, or the hatefulness in us, the spitefulness in us, whatever word you want to use, and said, oh, no, I got it. Yeah, I got to make, yeah. And he going to say, okay, so you don't trust me. You don't believe me. I thought you said you had faith in me. Then somebody going to say, but God, this ain't about faith. Oh, yes, it is. If you don't believe that I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, then you don't believe in me. So I'm hoping that at some point we revisit our relationship, our one-on-one relationship with God. I'm not talking about your relationship with the church. I'm not talking about your fellowship with the church. I'm talking about your fellowship with God one-on-one. Because I don't know, that's more endearing to me. It's more personal with me. Now, I'm cool with church. I'm cool with all of that. I'm just saying, if we're still having some of the same hang-ups that we've been having for a long time, and we know that our hang-ups are contrary to God's will and way, then it's time for us to revisit our friendship, relationship, spiritual ship, whatever your ship is with God. And I'm on this type of level with T-Sippers here lately because it's that intense out there in this world. Right in our face, and we don't realize it. They really trying to take us out on our land, on our soil, because we have someone that is an enemy of the United States in office. It's an understatement. Yeah, it is. And we still got human trafficking. We still got kids that are being separated on purpose. This immigration stuff is just an excuse. Because if y'all remember, some time ago, I played a recording of a message where they was having a meeting and they was saying that they needed to re-implement slavery. And whoever was talking, they said, well, you know, black people are not going to go for it. And then they made mention of women and kids. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember that, but I dang sure played it. So when I hear this, you know, this immigration and separation and torture and, you know, that's what's playing in my head. We have kids taken from 10 minutes away from me every day. That's so sad. It's sad. But they're not taking him out of office. He's still in office. They need to be removing him. He's an enemy of the U.S. He's trying to get back. He's mad, and he has made deals with foreign country with our money. And he done shut down the government. And now he don't want to pay them. And he's having generals, and he's trying to condition the minds of them because they have a plot and a plan. But yeah, I'm coming up on 2 hours. I gotta go. I may be back late. Oh, I may be back later, okay? I gotta go. I gotta take this call.